Hey friend, welcome to Chrysalis Chats. My name is Tanya, and like a caterpillar to a butterfly, I help people metamorphosize their diets and lifestyles to be plant-based. Welcome to Chrysalis Chats. I'm here with you today to chat about exactly how to blanch and freeze your greens this autumn season so that all winter long you will have awesome, fresh, technically frozen greens. With that said, let's get into it. The first thing you want to do when you're blanching your greens is obviously get some greens, okay? I recommend getting them from your farmer's market because they're going to be a lot fresher usually. You're supporting your farmer. All the money that you're spending is going straight into your farmer's pocket and not a supermarket chain, okay? So you're really cutting out the middleman, so to speak. And you know that they're going to be a lot more nutritious if they're fresher, right? You can also ask your farmer specific questions. You can really tell usually if they're organic or not, you know, they'll kind of advertise themselves as being such. It's just a more wholesome way to get your greens, okay? But even if you get them from the grocery store, that's cool too. If you're feeling like you just want to blanch some greens, I would say 9 times out of 10, the people who are preserving greens are the people who are shopping at farmers markets or growing it themselves. So whatever your motivation is, you want to get all your greens, okay? Fresh, leafy greens. I recommend kale. That could be lacinato Italian kale. That could be your more standard kale. It could be a white Russian kale, a red Russian kale, whatever. Ethiopian collard greens or Ethiopian mustards. That's what I meant to say. Ethiopian mustards. It's like a mustard kale hybrid. Those are delicious. If you can find those at the farmer's market, you're rocking and rolling into Greenville, baby. Greenville over winter. Who would have thunk it? You can get whatever greens you want, okay? Collard greens, they work great. Then you're gonna wash them up really good and make sure that they're out on your cutting board, nice and spread out, and then you're gonna chop them up. That's right, chop it up real fine, okay? So you pretty much wanna get your greens into pretty small, you know, pieces. I would say 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch is what you're aiming for. If you have inch wide greens, there's really no big deal to that. Just in terms of thinking about how they're cooking and how they're freezing, it's gonna serve you to have them be nice and thin, okay? Then you're gonna drop them in some boiling water, okay? You need your water boiling, and that's important because when you're blanching greens, what you're actually doing is you're kind of killing the bacteria on your greens. And that's not to say it's 100% good for your greens because yeah, some bacteria is good for us, but what you're doing is killing the bacteria that could possibly make those greens decompose and turn bad. And you're also, in effect, you're helping them freeze to where they're not going to get frostbitten or frostburnt in your fridge or in your freezer. So you're helping preserve them better by blanching them. That's what this is called. When you drop something in boiling water for just a quick minute, not even a minute really. I mean, you can just do it till you see them turn bright green, okay? So that's when you take them out. When your greens are boiling, it shouldn't even be really but a minute, friend. And that's when you can just go ahead and scoop them out with a slotted spoon or whatever you have handy. If you want to pour it all out, that's cool too. But a word of the experienced here, I would definitely suggest that you consider doing this in a large batch, just because it can be, you know, not a huge process by any means. It's actually rather easy, but you know, if you're going to go through the effort of boiling your water and washing your greens and cutting them all up and then putting them in bags and freezing them, and especially if you're thinking about preserving your food for all of winter, I think it's wise to do this in large batches. So I myself recently, I just did this to 9 bundles, like that's pretty much like a handful, right, of greens from the farmer's market, and I ended up with like 3 little quart-sized bags in my freezer. So when you cook them, you know, just like when you cook normally, it's gonna go down in size, okay? So you could have like 12 bunches of greens and end up with 2 gallon-sized bags of greens, and that's more than okay, because of course it's up to you how you use your greens over winter, and you'll kind of know, oh, this is more than it might seem, so I'm getting a lot of nutrients despite the fact that it doesn't seem like a huge portion size. You know, but they're great in soups. Thinking in terms of how you could use your greens here, be sure to check out, if you're a soup fan like I'm a soup fan, be sure to check out my garbanzo bean dumpling soup recipe. I did a whole video on it and I'm really excited to share it with you. I made up that recipe myself a few years ago, and believe me when I say it is the perfect thing for a winter day. to eat. It's just so warm and nourishing and stick to your ribs good. The link for that is up here. So with that said, my friend, let me know if you have any questions about blanching your greens. I would really love to help you with that. Again, you can reach out to me via chrysalisandcocoon.com. You can see all of my different services, how to get a hold of me there, and you can also see a bunch of different recipes and awesome things that I'm offering you in order to help you be inspired and informed in your plant-based journey. And with that said, whether you're just starting off as a tiny little caterpillar, like where are the leaves at, or you're a full-fledged butterfly sipping the nectar of a plant-based diet, you, my friend, are awesome. Have a blessed day.